to make my own coffee right now. So this is gonna be a coffee without refined sugar. Okay, before going further to the discussion, we need to understand that there's a lot of types of sugar we can encounter in our homes, houses, or whatever you are now. Normally, we will buy the white sugar, right, or the refined. That's the refined sugar, white sugar, or the processed sugar. Okay, now I'll try to length that explanation because I make coffee now and I have to add sugar now. Not all the time I will add sugar, but this time I will add sugar. I have the purpose for that. But wait, I need to get the thermos. What's the English of thermos? Basta wait. Okay, I need to pour water in my. There are things I cannot interpret in English also. Basta thermos na siya. Okay, you get the point? So kettle, the kettle is just only a container for the boiled water or any water, right? It's kettle. But this is another thing. This is thermos Jude. What's the English of thermos? Thermostat. Joke. Okay, basta mo na. Okay guys, so help me in the comment section. What's the English of thermos? Because sometimes I lost my mind. I cannot remember all things. Okay, I'm aging. As we grow older, there are times we can forget, right? Okay, things like that. So nobody is perfect to that. Nobody is excused even though you are summa cum laude or a scientist. We always forget things because as we grow older biologically, okay, through age, our hormones will not be active compared to our younger days. Get the point? And that's the explanation. Science again explanation. Okay? So the more we can be forgetful, you are having now a little bit of dementia, and then you have also Alzheimer's disease in the age of 70 years old or 80 years old, things like that. Ang nakapon, simbako, when you, no, it's not simbako because all of us will go there. Okay? It's not yet our time. We go there, maango-ango po tatanan, nobody is excused. Okay? Let's just wait when you become 80 years old, 90 years old, 70. Here in my vlog, guys, I'm talking with reality. Okay? Whether you like it or not. Okay? Puro man siya science. Factual ba yung science? Okay? And also math. Okay? This is not opinionated nga maglalis, mag-away lang kadita magtakdo. Okay? You get the point. Hindi siya opinion lang. Nakakaloka. Okay? So here I will make a coffee, right? So usually when I was in the Middle East, I will drink coffee without sugar, purely with additional sugar. Now I need to add a honey sugar. Here, honey sugar is a little bit expensive compared to the white sugar, refined sugar, or the processed sugar. Okay, like that. So I'm having now the sugar. Charis. I love it. Uy, char. Okay. Diba? May kamot yung taan ni para makakwarta. Charis! Okay, I have here the honey sugar. Okay? So you have to mix a little bit of honey sugar to your coffee powdered mixed with powdered with boiled water. And you have to add a little bit. In my case now, I don't have the teaspoon. The smaller version of the spoon is a teaspoon. Right? In English. Kitchenette. Okay. Spoon, teaspoon. Starlet. Mga ganon, di ba? Mga smaller version of something. You get the point? Bigger particles, minute particles. Or larger particles, we have also minute meaning small. In English, vocabulary, minute particles, in I-N-U-T-E. Okay, you cannot pronounce this as a minute because the usage of your sentence is not the same. So it depends on the sentence where you use that term, minute or minute. I'm using that term in terms of science. Things, and you can feel that also. You get the point. If you face examination in English, you can really extract what it means during the structuring and phrasing of the sentence. Sapit ang dila ni Juju. Okay, you get the point. I have here like this. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, just like 3 drops of honey sugar. I will explain what's the benefits. Of course, when you vlog, you need to explain so that you have direction in your vlogs. Okay? So that it turn out to be not useless when you do the vlogging. So you will just vlog without any purpose. It looks like you are floating in the air. You should explain that that's gonna be the purpose and aim of your vlog. Right? So you should establish clarity in your content. Okay, especially me, I'm very content wise because as you can observe my vlogs, there's no special effects. There's no creativity regarding the color, the sound, because I'm not really a computer analyst, computer technician, or an IT professional. So I make it into a point that I will win on the content, not on the special effects or the visual effects in my uploaded videos. As you can see, there's no birds flying, there's no stars, there's no special sound effect. So purely content. Okay, like that. So only few can relate. You get the point. So let's be honest. Okay, you get the point. Ganan. So guys, I've been invited for an international studies, but I'm not yet ready. Okay? But in the future, I think so. Okay. Oh, this is now the coffee. Okay, I mixed with the honey sugar, right? This one. Honey bee, because honey sugar is coming from the bees. B-E-E-S. Katong mga bubuyog, katong mga saan na siya, uy, katong saba bitaw kaayo, wala naman nakaroon, di ba? Okay, that's the sugar produced by them. Okay? Lapinig, right? Lapinig, or bubuyog. There were, mulay sila mga ing-ani nga eggs, and then it will become a honey sugar. Things like that, okay? So, it can be explained by biology. Okay. So now, this is now my coffee. So, okay, what's the benefit of adding honey sugar? Okay, so let's try to compare the benefits of the white sugar versus the honey sugar, and let's explain why I should do this. Because of course I do this with a purpose. I'm not doing this for nothing, right? You get the point. Ganon. I may explain. Give me a sheet of paper, assistant. I don't have an assistant. Sariling kayo rin siya. So I have here the scratch paper here. Dapat pala, mayroon ako mga visual aids, Manila papers. I don't have the whiteboard, the same as my whiteboard in my room. There, sa gitnang silangan. Here, no. Nothing. Okay. So but I have to write in the blank sheet of paper. Wow, blank sheet of paper. Charis. Okay, nakakaloka. Okay? Pero ako sa tilawan, I need to taste the quality of the coffee. Wow, I love it. Not sweet, not bitter. Okay, it's in the middle. The taste is in the middle, not bitter, not sweet, like that. But the aroma is very, very good. Aroma, the smell. Okay, you get the point. So I will return this thermos there in the kitchen. Then I will explain what's the benefits of blah, 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 so and so. Okay? Okay, guys. So, asan mo akong pencil pen? Okay. Now, I will just use the ball pen. Anyway, you can just see the ball pen, right? Wait. So, ang dami kong mga materials. Okay. So, scratch paper, please. Pasok. Wow. Okay, we have here, ganan. Okay. Burot yun ako mga scratch papers. Yes, guys. Okay, readings, research, okay, discussions, whatever, right? Like that. Okay, I love the situation now because, guys, I have the time compared to my previous works in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Taiwan, like that. Okay, now in Saudi Arabia, I have 2 day offs. Okay, and that's the time I can manage everything, research, reading, singing, like that. Because I don't want to overtime. It's my choice. Okay, but if they want me to overtime because they cannot fulfill the job without me, then I have to overtime. Because there are cases also like that. Okay, you get the point. Because we are only two in the safety department, but the other one is in the fire section. He is not in the safety. Then sometimes they will really call me what to do, blah blah blah, so and so. Especially in the documentation. You get the point? Then they need me. Okay, so that's why I will wear immediately the uniform and then I will time in. Though I teach them how to do something, but they will forget sometimes. I cannot explain. I cannot explain between what's the difference between a Filipino and other nationalities because sometimes they are less, I cannot explain. Their capture of knowledge is not quick and fast as the Filipinos. Sorry, this is only my experience, okay? Filipinos are very quick to understand. Some, generally, yeah, but though other nationalities also have, but it's totally different in terms of IQ. You get the point? It just happened only in my environment. We don't know also in another environment, right? But in our environment now, in our habitat, it looks like, basta, maybe you will say I'm judging or, garaon ko based on alam mo makakapog kung nga tinuod man. Right? So I don't have to hide because that is the real situation. You get the point? It's gonna be like that. So, bawal judgmental, right? But it's not judgmental anymore. It's really happening. Okay? You get the point? So, sometimes, IQ level, okay? You get the point? And, English, something wrong with English. Okay? The spelling, the structuring of the grammar, like that, okay? Because it's needed in the procedure and documentation programs. In the higher levels, you represent yourself to the CEO of the plant, things like that. In the meeting in the morning, you have to discuss the department, like that's what's the progress, and you have to talk in front of different, managerial levels, like that, okay? Okay, things like that. Every month, sometimes every week, sometimes like that. It depends on the situation. Okay? Nakakaloka. Sunod yun akong scratch papers mga palangga, no? Okay. Nakakaloka. Mapalit ako kung mga chart. So this is also good because I really learned to conserve resources. Okay, so scratch paper. For example, if I have a bond paper, I still need to use the back portion to save resources in our nature. Okay, this is also helping our planet Earth from throwing a lot of wastes in the different places to places. Okay, so we can save paper by using the other side of the paper, right? And this is also example of becoming an environmentalist in your own little ways. Okay, you can do that in your homes also. Recycle things that are still usable because there are also, strategies and actions that you don't have to be taught by anybody else. You can do that by yourself. So that is sentido común. You get the point that you can really protect the plants and animals like that, and you don't produce wastes every time. Okay, when you eat like that, you don't throw anywhere your plastics wastes, papers waste. So these things are no need to be instructed. Okay, this is automatic or inherent responsibility of the human being as long as you are still alive in the planet Earth. We have the responsibility to protect our environment, our Mother Earth. Ganon. No, diba? That's why we have eco bags in different modes. It's part also of protecting our environment because plastics are not biodegradable. Okay? As much as we will only use the biodegradable substances. Okay? Because it can create pollution to our environment. Okay? To our different living forms of organisms. Wow, living organisms, nakakaloka. I love it, right? Okay, so we have here the honey sugar. Okay, unsa man ni siyang honey sugar? Uy, nakakaloka. Okay, so actually guys, this honey sugar is composed of sucrose and glucose. Okay, so ang formula sa sucrose. Sucrose dayon. Okay, ang sucrose, this is the the sugar, the white sugar we use in our coffee. That is the chemical name of our sugar. Okay. So if somebody will ask you, I need sucrose now, I need to make coffee, so you can use also sucrose because this is the accurate term for sugar, scientifically. Okay, the sugar is just general term or the layman's terminology that everybody understands. Okay, but if you use the technical scientific term, that is sucrose. You get the point. So sucrose sugar, the formula will be 12 atoms of carbon. Yan nasa 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen, okay, and 11 atoms of oxygen. So sucrose. Take a look at the chemical formula. How many atoms? 12 atoms of carbon. Could you expect that carbon will be burned easily into your system? How many atoms? 12. It's not one. Right? So if you will not manage your sugar properly, it can cause destruction to your bloodstream, to your pancreas, to your liver, and it can cause hypertension or increase of the blood pressure. And then also, if it getting worse, it can cause heart attack, stroke, and diabetes. Okay, because it's not easy to dissolve and burn these 12 atoms of carbon. Okay, and it will react to the fats and cholesterol inside our body. The more you add sugar, the more you also increase your fats inside your body and cholesterol level. Okay, you get the point. The oxygen atoms and the hydrogen atoms are not an issue because these are really associated with other biochemical reactions in our body to produce protein, amino acids, like that, oxygen, 11 atoms. In fact, without oxygen, we will die. So it can help in our inhalation, this 11 atoms of oxygen. That's why, even though we don't drink water, we can still survive because we have a lot of oxygen atoms inside our body that is tucked there. Those are oxygen atoms coming from the food we eat. Especially sugar, as I told you, there are 11 atoms of oxygen already. Because when we mean of oxygen, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's oxygen from the atmosphere. We have also oxygen coming from the food we eat. Just like this, of course. And the hydrogen also here, 22 atoms, it's not also an issue because it will yield later on with water, it will react to oxygen inside our body. So, oxygen atoms plus hydrogen atoms is equal to water. And water is very important for right and appropriate metabolism in our body. So, if there will be no metabolism, so we will get sick. Because how can the toxins and waste will be removed inside our body if there's no metabolism? You get the point? Metabolism is the key to remove the wastes, toxins, pathogens into our body so that it will not attract the bacteria and the viruses inside our body because these toxins, unwanted substances, pathogens like that will attract viruses inside our body. Okay? So there's no purpose at all for these antigens, bacteria, viruses, parasites, like that. That's why we need to make our immune system strong by having lots of vitamin C because vitamin C, there's a lot of oxygen atoms also there in the formula. Ascorbic acid. You get the point. All acids have oxygen atoms already. So we are really loaded with oxygen atoms inside our body. Now, for example, if you cannot breathe properly, that signals really that you are not in good condition. Because imagine there's a lot of oxygen from the food we eat, plus the water oxygen we intake, plus the oxygen in the atmosphere we inhale by our nose, then why you are deprived or get rid of for oxygen just for you to breathe properly? Meaning you are not really in good health condition. You are sickly if you cannot breathe properly. So that triggers or signals abnormalities in your system. Okay, ganon. So that is sucrose. Now we have the glucose here. I need to explain the glucose because glucose plus sucrose is equals to the honey sugar we have now here. And I put in my coffee. Right? So glucose. So this is reality showing you the actual. Okay? So glucose and the theory explanation. Okay, glucose. The only difference is that I don't have the laboratory to explain. Laboratory to show to you, get sampling and analyze the percentage of sucrose in that honey sugar. Okay, so it's not like that, just only showing to you and the theoretical aspects, because this is factual evidence already. Okay, so glucose. Okay, the glucose will be 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and 6 atoms of another oxygen also. See? No, you add also another oxygen. Right? So it adds good inhalation, because it's the purpose of oxygen for cellular respiration. Inhale. And then later on, it will be exhaled as carbon dioxide. Why? Because the carbon atoms of the food we eat will react to oxygen. You get the point? And that's carbon dioxide. Inhale, exhale. So, carbon atoms are very, very important in the exhalation process during cellular respiration. Because if we mean cellular respiration, that means inhalation and exhalation. You remove the carbon dioxide and you inhale and you inputted the oxygen into your system for breathing support system for all human beings in the planet Earth. Because without oxygen, we will die. Okay, that's the point. So that's gonna be like that. Okay. So now, so if that is the case, for example, you are, if you have a patient in the hospital, okay, and there's a dextrose, you may wonder why dextrose is added. The purpose of dextrose also is to add oxygen for breathing, aside from the oxygen cylinder they supported there. Okay? Oxygen cylinder. Because the formula of dextrose is 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, plus 6 atoms of oxygen. So it will add atoms of oxygen also for your cellular respiration. You get the point? So dagan ka kang i-add na oxygen in order for you to survive as a patient. You get the point? So things like this. That's formula. So meaning to say, dextrose and glucose are isomers with each other. Meaning they have the same chemical formula. Okay, only the term change. Okay, so take note, it ends in SE, right? So glucose also in an SE. So that means this is also a sugar. So anything that ends in SE, that's sugar by default in science or in chemistry. Okay, dextrose, sucrose, glucose, fructose. So OSE or SE, the last letters. Okay, in your terms. You get the point? So, muna siyang formula sa glucose. Okay, that's one. Okay, so everything can be discussed through chemical reactions. Okay, that's why if you know the chemical reactions, sometimes you can, not sometimes, I say sometimes because I'm not a doctor. Okay, but if you try to scrutinize really the chemical reaction and you know what the output, then you can easily manage what to be controlled or not in your system. You can control cholesterol, you can control glucose or sugar in your blood stream for diabetic people, things like that, because you know the chemical reactions, the substances itself. Because doctors and health professionals always studied the substances, the technology, and the disease. Okay, they know the substances that comes in, and they know also the disease what comes in, and they know the technology to prevent and to stop the disease to comes in. Right? So basically, substances, technology, and the disease. Okay, so you cannot easily understand the disease if you don't know really the study of substances. That's why medical doctors have so many theories of chemical substances, just like a chemical engineer, right? So that's why some chemical engineers are working in the health profession, in the hospitals also, because we are really specializing the substances. We can scrutinize the different substances. Okay, you get the point. Though not all, but generally. Okay, because it depends on the mental intelligence also of a chemical engineer itself. You get the point? So, hindi ko naman nila lahat but majority. Okay, you get the point. You get the mga palangga kung kita mo na siya, no? Oh. So, nakakaloka. Muanak dayon ko. Okay, so, the glucose is our basis here. We need to remove the sucrose. Okay. Sir, why we remove the sucrose? In terms only of the chemical reaction, Because this glucose, guys, is really active compared to sucrose. You get the point? So, most of the times, this sucrose will be decomposed into glucose later on. So that's why we need to focus on glucose. Okay? So, this is more simplest sugar compared to sucrose. You get the point mga palangga, anak siya. Nakaloka. Okay. So, meaning to say, glucose is a simple sugar. Sucrose is a disaccharide sugar, meaning glucose plus glucose, like that. Okay, that's why sucrose will decompose later on to glucose inside our body in the biochemical reaction. That's why we always refer our chemical reaction to glucose. Kung saan man natin ang chemical reaction. Akong i-explain why the benefits of honey sugar compared to white sugar. There's an issue of cost because honey sugar is expensive compared to the white sugar we buy in the market. Okay. There's an issue of financial aspect. So let's forget the financial aspect. We focus on the health benefits muna. Okay. Ganon. Okay. So ano din siya, guys? Glucose. Charot ay. Glucose plus oxygen gas is equals to gluconic acid. Wow, na-research na June. Gluconic acid plus hydrogen peroxide. Okay, Marche product. Okay. So the moment I will put the honey sugar into my sugar, I added gluconic acid and hydrogen peroxide inside my body or into our body. Okay, because we have also glucose from the sugar later on, nasa cross. Okay, get the point? As I told you, it will decompose later on to glucose. That's why it will be our basis for the chemical reaction, not the sucrose. You get the point? Ganon. Okay. Now, ang may tabo niya ni guys, okay. Okay. We need to add an enzyme to speed up the chemical reactions in order we can produce gluconic acid and hydrogen peroxide. So we need to put enzyme known as a glucose oxidase. Oh, glucose oxidase. Wow. Okay. Because majority of our biochemical reactions in our body needs an enzyme to catalyze the chemical reaction, to speed up the rate of chemical reaction to produce, for example, the desired protein, the desired minerals, the desired vitamins, okay, the desired fats, the desired cholesterol. Because the cholesterol is not bad actually, guys, because it will help for the vitamins to go to different area of responsibility for our vital organs to stay healthy. Muna lang purpose. They are a transportation car, okay, to pick up, okay, to pick up these vitamins and transfer to different vital organs so that our vital organs target for that particular vitamins will become strong. Imagine, that's the rule of cholesterol. Then if we don't have cholesterol, it's a problem. How can we achieve these vitamins very well in different vital organs? So basically, cholesterol is having health benefit. Okay, the only difference is that if too much, because it will not move very, very easily if too much. For example, if you ride in a car and there's a lot of passenger in the car, would you think the car will not be damaged later on? The capacity. It's just like that story also with cholesterol. It will become heavy, then how can it will move freely? Common sense, right? So it will stuck to the veins there in the bloodstream. That's why it can cause stroke and heart attack. Instead of pushing these vitamins to their real purpose as a health benefit, it will turn out to be worse na if your cholesterol will be higher. You get the point? Oh, mana siya. Ganon siya. Okay, now going back to glucose oxidase. So, now, this hydrogen peroxide, guys, is very important to kill the bacteria. Okay. So, if you use this honey sugar, it can produce a hydrogen peroxide that will kill the bacteria. So, if that is the case that will help to kill the bacteria and viruses, then why use this honey sugar instead of white sugar? The issue of cost and not explained well in the teachers in the high school, in elementary or in college, because nobody dares to explain unless you will research a lot also, sariling sikap in the social media, in the internet, because not all people are having interest in science and health. To be honest with you guys, most of the people are interested only in the comedy, watching your more videos, TED Talk, let their eyes laugh and smile, but not their brain. You get the point? Because if you need to, if you need your brain to be healthy, you need to go with the ideas to protect your health so that you will not get sick. Okay? So, having the eyes only to enjoy in order for the heart to remove stress so that you will not be having an heart. That's okay. But you need to be balanced also. Okay? You need to research farther really. You get the point. Now, so if this hydrogen peroxide will be in your system, it will kill the bacteria, parasites, and viruses. So it will help a lot. So you will not having a disease anymore by just intake in daily basis the honey sugar instead of white sugar, because due to this chemical reaction. Okay. Now another, there's also a negative issue of honey sugar, because honey sugar is having more calories compared to the white sugar. Calories, meaning the more you will become fat if you will take more honey sugar compared to the white sugar. But do you want to be only that issue or for the health issue you want? Okay, just not to be physically looking fat or obese, or you want really no disease. Okay, choose na. It's your own preference na when you prefer. Okay, you want to have no disease or you want that you are not getting fat. Okay, because if you want not to getting fat, then choose the white sugar compared to honey. I'm comparing to honey sugar and the white sugar, ha, because basically also if you have too much level of white sugar, it can turn you obesity. But I have no choice. I have to compare the honey sugar and the white sugar. So of the two, the one makes you obese more is the honey sugar. But the honey sugar, in terms of diseases, it will kill the bacteria and the virus. Okay. Another issue, this is also very costly. Okay, so majority of the poverty level cannot buy unless you intentionally buy with a purpose. Okay? With a purpose ba? After your research, after your study, you're a wide reader, or you're really loving science, or you're a science professionals. Okay? Because it depends on the person's appetite, or person's profession. Because some profession don't love reading this kind of topics, and some also love. Okay, so let's accept that fact. Okay, now, so it's gonna be, for me, I will use honey sugar, not the white sugar. Because I do it now. So my coffee has no white sugar. Okay, now, in terms of diabetic or type 2 diabetes mellitus, honey sugar is far. Okay. Why? Because it is anti-inflammatory or antiviral agent, in which this health benefit cannot be found in the white sugar we have in our kitchen, the white color. It only adds the sweet flavor, but it doesn't have health benefit that will try to kill the bacteria. Only sweet for the tongue. Okay, but it can cause diabetic, which you choose. Okay, now I cannot also force you because that's your preference. I'm just telling the reality. You have the right to choose which among them, right? This is only a guidance. Okay, you get the point? Health guidance, whether you follow or not. Tuloy ang buhay. Ganon. O, diba? Nakakaloka. Okay, now. So what is the benefit for this? Is to lower the cholesterol level. Okay, now, let's try to explain between without sugar coffee, white sugar. With the minimum sugar kasi, the white sugar na automatically, unless we specify, right? So, which do you prefer? Adding sugar in your coffee or not adding sugar in your coffee? Or putting honey sugar with coffee? Three instances, and you have to explain. Is a right? It is a question. Okay? Na reasoning, logical and scientific reasoning, so that nakuha atong points let's say 50 points, 30 points, so it's A. Okay, cholesterol, ganon. So blood pressure, okay, blood pressure, like that. Okay, we have heart attack is a silent killer. Heart attack is the silent killer of all symptoms. It's the effect of the symptom, not yet a disease, but a symptom. Okay, this is heart attack. Ganon. Okay. What else, mga palangga? Okay, we have the stroke. Okay. Ganon. Okay, guys, no? O patragudisya or obesity. Obesity. What is the another term for obesity? I forgot the term. Basta na siya another term. Obesity. Okay. Like this. Obesity. Wow. 5 kabuok, no? So let's focus on cholesterol, blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, and obesity. Okay. Of the two, honey sugar versus the white sugar in excess amount can produce high cholesterol, increase blood pressure, increase the moment of war situation, heart attack, and then the stroke, and then the obesity. Okay. So the heart attack is, hello guys. So heart attack will be the, let's have myocardial infarction. Okay, myocardial infarction. And then the stroke is the cerebral infarction. Okay. So when you mean of infarction, that is a symptoms turned to a disease. Okay, like that. So cerebral, it has to do something with the brain. And myocardial, it has to do something with the blood and the cardiovascular, the heart, the coronary. It is the heart, right? Okay. Coming from the heart, or coronary, or cardiovascular. Okay, ganan. So, why mostly heart attack? The people will die in heart attack. Because the heart is a lower part compared to the brain. Okay, so the bloodstream, it's easy for them to flow there. Rather than going up, it needs a lot of pressure to go to the top portion in our brain cells compared to the heart, which is already in the bottom part. It has to do something with the density in physics. So density, mass over volume. Relates mo ang pressure dira. Pressure is equals to force over area. Okay, then creating another equation. O, diba? I-link mo ang density formula and pressure formula in terms of your bloodstream. And as per the it will go there. Okay? So, that's why mamatay ka sa ganang heart attack. So, tataod pa ang stroke. Okay? You get the point? So, both are deadly. Okay, deadly disease, ha? Nakakaloka. So, attributed to high blood pressure or hypertension or high levels of cholesterol. Okay, the bad cholesterol. Bad cholesterol or the low density lipoprotein is the medical term for bad cholesterol. Diba? Okay. Sure, there's high density or have also. This high density lipoprotein is the good cholesterol. Okay. We have the bad cholesterol and we have also the good cholesterol. Okay. Both of them belongs to lipid and fat family and protein family. Okay. So low density, if that is low density, it will not be moving right away. It will stay. That's why it will stay to your heart. It will not move directly because it has a low density. That's why it's a bad cholesterol. That will deposit to your left artery. In your heart. And your heart cannot pump anymore the oxygen, the blood in which the oxygen carries in it. Because that's the job of the heart, pumping the blood, in which it carries the oxygen and the nutrients and the hemoglobin going to the respiratory system and to other vital organs inside your body. So what will happen if it will not do the function of the heart? Of course, you will be deprived from proper inhalation. Hindi ka makaginhawa. You get the point? So that's the case. You are having now the asphyxia and aphoxia disease. Oh, ganon. So you lose your oxygen and you will die. You get the point? Because without oxygen, all people will die. there's no excuse. Because you are losing your oxygen for cellular respiration and inhalation. You get the point, anak siya. So that is the benefit of having coffee with less sugar and without sugar. If you want to put sugar, put honey sugar. Okay, but it depends on you guys. I'm not telling you to force to do this. Okay, it's only a science explanation why. Ganon. Okay. So, mama na siya no basta kanina siya guys, I will teach you if you forgot the formula of an acid kay mahibong mo because sa na siya sir uy na timan ang acid. So inyong timan guys ang acid lang jud na formula. Okay, so and then you will try to add the elements, the compounds, and balance the chemical reaction. You can also predict the acid even though you don't know the formula itself. Okay? So iba na bana. Pero mao naman yun ang principle. Okay, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you like it. You can comment down below in the comment section. Okay, you can also subscribe my YT channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and then you can click the notification bell for some news updates of science, health, safety, and music channel, Sotero, your YouTube content creator. Bye-bye. God bless everybody. Stay safe and continue the health protocols as advised by the Department of Health. Wow! May ganon. May ganong advocacy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. God bless. O diba nakakaloka?